Dear students, let us begin with the second part of the lesson on India-US relations after the Cold War, in which we will learn about the India-US dialogue architecture, strategic consultations, defense, trade, economic and energy cooperation. India-US dialogue architecture. There are more than 50 bilateral dialogue mechanisms between the two governments. The first two meetings of the strategic and commercial dialogue were held in Washington, D.C. in September 2015 and New Delhi in August 2016. This dialogue has added a commercial component to the 5 traditional pillars of bilateral relations on which the erstwhile strategic dialogue of foreign ministers had focused, namely strategic cooperation, energy and climate change, education and development, economy, trade and agriculture, science and technology, and health and innovation. The second meeting of the strategic and commercial dialogue took place on 30th August 2016 in New Delhi. In addition, there were ministerial level dialogues involving home, finance, commerce, HRD, science and technology, and energy. Strategic consultations. There have been regular contacts between the two countries at political and official levels on bilateral, regional and global issues. Foreign Office consultations at the level of Foreign Secretary of India and US Under Secretary for Political Affairs are an important part of the dialogue structure. The last round of Foreign Office consultations was held in New Delhi in April 2015. A new high-level consultation between Foreign Secretary of India and the US Deputy Secretary of State began in September 2015 and has met twice since then, in December 2015 in New Delhi and July 2016 in Washington, D.C. A policy planning dialogue has also been started between the two sides in September 2015. Defense cooperation. Defense relationship has emerged as a major pillar of India-US strategic partnership with the signing of new framework for India-US defense relations in 2005 and the resulting intensification in defense trade, joint exercises, personal exchanges, collaboration and cooperation in maritime security and counter piracy and exchanges between each of the 3 services. The Defense Framework Agreement was updated and renewed for another 10 years in June 2015. The two countries now conduct more bilateral exercises with each other than they do with any other country. India participated in Rim of the Pacific exercise in July-August 2016 for the second time with an Indian naval frigate. Bilateral dialogue mechanisms in the field of defense include Defense Policy Group, Defense Joint Working Group, Defense Procurement and Production Group, Senior Technology Security Group, Joint Technical Group, Military Cooperation Group and Service to Service Executive Steering Groups. The agreements signed include the Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Association signed in August 2016, the Fuel Exchange Agreement signed in November 2015, the Technical Agreement on Information Sharing on White Shipping signed in May 2016 and the Information Exchange Annex on Aircraft Carrier Technology signed in June 2016. Aggregate worth of defense acquisition from the US defense has crossed over $13 billion. India and the United States have launched a defense technology and trade initiative aimed at simplifying technology transfer policies and exploring possibilities of co-development and co-production to invest in the defense relationship with a strategic value. The DTTI working group and its task force will evaluate and decide on unique projects and technologies which would have a transformative impact on bilateral defense relations and enhance India's defense industry and military capabilities. During President Obama's visit in January 2015, the two sides agreed to start cooperation on 4 DTTI Pathfinder projects and 2 Pathfinder initiatives, which are currently at various stages of execution. In December 2015, the two sides also identified opportunities for bilateral cooperation in production and design of jet engine components. During Secretary Carter's visit in April 2014, 2 more G2G DTTI projects were added to the list. The DTTI meeting in Delhi in July 2016 decided to broaden its agenda by setting up 5 new joint working groups on naval systems, air systems, intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance, chemical and biological protection and other systems. During the visit of Indian Prime Minister to the United States in June 2016, the US recognized India as a major defense partner, which facilitates technology sharing with India to a level commensurate with that of its closest partners and industry collaboration for defense co-production and co-development. Trade and economic cooperation. There are opportunities for India and the United States to expand their trade relations. India is a major importer of technology, and this may provide it with greater leverage to demand for more open investments from the United States. There are a number of similarities in economic and business institutions between them that can help the two countries to augment and strengthen their relations beyond the current phase. The Indian business community is well trained and knowledgeable about the global investment climate. Both the American and Indian business communities are more cosmopolitan and less suspicious of the international investment. The trade between the two countries would further strengthen their relations. This openness can foster collaborations in research, development and entrepreneurship, driving innovation and growth. Cooperation on science and technology between the two countries is influenced by their internal politics and geopolitical interests. Both can benefit from each other. India needs American skills, knowledge and capital, whereas the United States can use India's educational, research and technical resources. India-US bilateral trade in goods and services increased from $104 billion in 2014 to $114 billion in 2016 to $133 billion in 2022. Both countries have made a commitment to facilitate actions necessary for increasing the bilateral trade to $500 billion. The bilateral trade showed an encouraging growth trajectory in 2017. Geopolitical considerations are also pivotal in shaping India-US collaboration, given their shared interest in a stable and prosperous Indo-Pacific region, which underscores the critical nature of their partnership for regional security. Energy and climate change. The US-India Energy Dialogue was launched in May 2005 to promote trade and investment in the energy sector and held its last meeting in September 2015 in Washington, D.C. There are 6 working groups in oil and gas, coal, power and energy efficiency, new technologies, renewable energy, civil, nuclear cooperation and sustainable development under the Energy Dialogue. Investment by Indian companies like Reliance, Essar and GAIL in the US natural gas market is ushering in a new era of India-US energy partnership. These investments represent a growing synergy between India and the US in the energy sector, contributing to mutual economic growth and energy security. India and the US are advancing cooperation and dialogue on climate change through a high-level climate change working group and a joint working group on hydrofluorocarbons. A new US-India partnership for climate resilience has been agreed to in order to advance capacity for climate adaptation planning, and also a new US-India Climate Fellowship program to build a long-term capacity to address climate change related issues. To further collaboration in the area of clean energy and climate change, the two sides announced finalization of a package to provide concessional finance to support clean energy projects on track to coordinate U.S. government efforts on clean energy investment in India jointly with leading Indian financial institutions and to provide liquidity to small scale renewable energy investors. I hope you understood about the India-US dialogue architecture, strategic consultations, defense, trade, economic and energy cooperation. We will discuss about the cooperation in education, science and technology, health, people-to-people ties, culture and media in the next video. Thank you.